everyone. I believe a housekeeping message has been delivered already, so we're probably good to crack on. Who would like to kick us off? Anton.
Yeah, Shane, over to Anton, please. Thank you.
And we have the bubbles back.
Hi Sarina, hi
Hi.
Mary, nice to see you both.
Hello.
Look, first off, Sarina, just an update on squad fitness. Obviously we heard the news about Demi yesterday, and how is she?
Yeah, she's doing well. She's building up to the next game, so not to tomorrow, but the next game. So she's starting up. Everyone else is fit.
No concerns then around Demi?
Well, we made a plan towards next Wednesday. So and she's en route today. What we wanted to do, she could do, and then tomorrow we take the next step.
I suppose the big question that we all want to know is, will there be rotation for this game tomorrow?
Well, I believe in rhythm. I think when you have 9 days in between the Norwegian game and the quarter-final, that's too long. I think you need more rhythm and keep the focus and keep playing. So you couldn't expect lots of rotations. During the game, probably, but not before the start.
What's the reaction of the players, of the rest of the squad? Because they must be desperate to get some minutes.
Yeah, of course, and I understand that too. We have 23 players, and you can only let 11 start. We'll do what we believe in that gives us the best chance to win the next game. Yes, of course, some players will be disappointed, but we keep communicating, and we keep being clear about what we do and why we do it. And yes, sometimes you can be a little disappointed, totally understandable, because if you wouldn't be eager to play, then the player wouldn't be in this squad. So, but then you get some time to get settled and then get ready to play if you have to come in.
Mary, first off, look, just obviously you've had, a kind of observer role for a lot of the time during this tournament and in the warm-up game. So how has it been for you to try and stay matched up and focused, knowing that you'll obviously be needed if England go deeper?
I think it's just about focusing on what my job is. That's kind of normal as a goalkeeper. Sometimes you're needed, sometimes you're not. And I'm more than happy for the girls to not need me for as long as that may be. They were phenomenal against Norway. But I just am really focused on making sure I stay connected with the back four, keeping our communication going, and making sure everything's organised at the back. And if I am needed, then I'll be there to do my job to the best of my ability.
You've been in camp since the start of June. Now, you ask any player, they always say, "Oh no, we're really happy," but you genuinely seem as though you, as a group of players, are happy. What's other than winning, obviously? What's the success? What's the key to that success?
I think we've got a good setup where we are in terms of we feel comfortable, and we've got a few things that keep us active when we've got our downtime. We're recovering well, and I think for the most part we genuinely like each other, so it's not really that difficult.
Helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, for now.
Thanks.
Thanks, Anton. We'll go to Emma at the BBC.
Thank you. Hi, Sarina. Hi, Mary. God, that was really loud. Sarina, I just wondered how nice it was for England to come up against, obviously, Northern Ireland, who it's their first major tournament. Yes, it will be their last game in this competition, but how nice is it for you to face different opposition like them?
Yeah, well, we've played them twice already last season. I think for them it's just really good that they now have their first tournament. And I think for the development of players, you need tournaments to become better and to know what you can expect the next time. What we can see is that they're trying to develop their style of play. And I'm absolutely sure that they want to try and get a competitive game tomorrow and do everything to make the best out of it. And that's what we want to do too.
And obviously you've been used to having the home crowds as an advantage. Do you think it might be a little bit more even with a lot of the Northern Ireland fans coming across to England to watch this game?
To be honest, I don't know. I don't know how much Northern Ireland people will be here. It will be full, 30,000. And what we just want to do is play a good game, win. Mary keeps the nil. The team keeps the nil, and and that we give the people that are here a very nice evening.
Yeah, Mary, just one more on Northern Ireland and the fact that obviously they're in this competition. How nice is it to see a team like them that have progressed and are playing in their first major tournament?
Yeah, I think it's great for them. Obviously, I don't know too much about them as a team in terms of I don't know a lot of their players personally. I played with Fernie for a couple of years, so I feel like, you know, really happy for her from a distance. And I think they'll be really pleased with kind of the way that they go about their business, and they're just really, they seem like a really hard-working group. And that's the kind of teams that you want in this tournament. So I think it's fantastic for them. And but yeah, we're here to do a job tomorrow, so it's good, but we'll see tomorrow.
All the best, thank you.
Thanks, Emma. We'll go to Natalie at the BBC as well.
Hi, guys. Sarina, interesting that you talk about rhythm, and I understand why you say that, but is there quite a tricky line, a tricky balance to strike? We've seen some big challenges come in from Northern Ireland in a couple of their games. Is there a line that you have to walk between rhythm, but also that you don't want to lose players for such a key game next week?
Yeah, but that's always the case. Things can happen at the level we play. What we just want to do is play a good game. If we're focused, we're concentrated, we'll probably be a lot in possession. We keep the ball going, and then be composed. That's what we have to do, and then play the game. And you always know what I just said. At this level, you always you look for the edge, and things can happen, and then another player will be ready. Of course, we don't hope that. But priority is keep rhythm and stay connected, keep communicating on and off the pitch, and get ready. Well, play a good game and then get ready for the next one.
Ellen's closing in on a very big record. What would you say to anyone who has voiced the opinion that she shouldn't be in the same conversation as someone like Wayne Rooney, as someone in the men's game? What would you say to them?
Well, I just talked to my squad and to Ellen. Everyone can have their opinion. I think what she has done is amazing, really good. The player she is, but also the person she is in our team, such an important role. And what she has accomplished on the pitch, but also off pitch, is just really, really great. And she's so valuable for this team. So maybe I could say that to the people then.
And Mary, what about playing with someone like Ellen, who is closing in on such an amazing record? It will be such an achievement for her.
Yeah, for sure. I think it doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman. Like, if you're great, you're great. And for her to have achieved that over the success that she's had over such a long period of time, that tells you everything you need to know. She's been fantastic for England for a very long time. So, of course, it's great to have her on my team.
Thanks, Natalie. We'll go to Dan at ITV, please.
Sarina, I know you've talked about rhythm going into this game, and it can't be any more entertaining than the Norway match, obviously. But I just wonder, with so many eyeballs on this England team at the moment, how much you think there is an onus on you to entertain tomorrow night?
You mean how that we really have to entertain? Yeah, that's what we want to do. Well, first, it starts with playing well, scoring goals, and we want to win the game. And then after that comes that we want to play well too. And if we play well, then we entertain everyone. And then what we also said all the time, we want to make the nation proud. So hopefully we can do that again tomorrow.
Mary, what about for you as well, with this group of players in front of you? It's pretty nearly against Austria, but then the shackles were just off against Norway, weren't they?
Yeah, I think that the team put in a really, really strong performance. I think it was fantastic to sort of witness that and see that. It felt like a lot of things in front of me really clicked together on that day. And that's obviously always really fun to be a part of. It obviously is very rare that it goes as well as what it did, but there's no doubt the talent in the team can produce that. So yeah, it was definitely a fun game. But I feel like we enjoyed the success of that already, and now we're like super focused on tomorrow and going forward and going as far as we can.
Thanks, Dan. We'll go to Lindsay at UEFA, please.
Sarina, I just wondered about the substitutes that you mentioned that you might be using in this game. Will they have any chance of working their way into your starting 11 if they impress enough for the quarter-final?
Well, we're always competing, and we never know what happens in a game, during a game. We don't know what happens after. We've been really lucky now that we came out of matches fit. The players who had played came out of the matches fit, and it's really nice to have all the choices, to make all the choices that I have to make, because those are hard choices all the time.
Thanks, Lindsay. We'll go to Simon at the Evening Standard, please.
Hi, Sarina. We heard from the players after the game the other night, those sort of singing songs, in the dressing room, and they're on this massive high. How do you, as a coach, sort of get that level to be refocused and not, get too ahead of themselves before the knockout games? And how do you strike that balance between keeping the mood there and keeping it level and focused?
Yeah, we've talked about that actually during the season already. So we're working all the time together to get our style, to improve our style of play. And sometimes it works really well, and sometimes we have a little harder time. So, but we stay neutral. That's what we said. Whether we win, we have a big win, whether we would lose, because we know we're working on. And now, of course, we have to perform. That's clear. And yes, Friday. Friday we had a good performance, and then it's we made it to the next stage. So then it's just a little time to celebrate. That's what we did. But the day after, we were already focused on the next game. We had the review, and I think this team does really well. We know that where we want to go to. We know what we want, and we know what we need. So I think the focus is there, and we're really ready to start another game tomorrow.
Thanks, Simon. Take a question in the middle.
It's a question from Mary. Since the beginning of the competition, all your teammates have insisted on the fact that the importance of the English fans during the game. And I was wondering, on a larger scale, do you think that you have the feeling that the whole country is behind you during this competition, or is it maybe too soon to say it?
Knowing English people, I have absolutely no doubt that the country is behind us. It's not something that us as players have really sort of engaged in too much, because, to be honest, we're so focused in our bubble that it's not something we're really hearing and feeling too much, apart from when we come inside the stadium and hear the roars from the crowd, which has obviously been fantastic. And to be honest, for the first time, we've really witnessed that in terms of obviously playing in major tournaments away from home. You don't realise how much that can really, A, be so much fun, and B, really drive you forwards in terms of your enjoyment in the game and really striving to such a high level of performance and excellence. And you feel a real responsibility to want to do that, not only for your teammates, but also then for the people coming to watch, of course. But it's not something we're engaging in too much. I have no doubt that at home that's exactly what everybody's doing, and we want to do the nation proud as best as we possibly can, and the way we're going to do that is by performing to a high level and the standards that we've set in every game.
Thank you very much. Tom at the Telegraph.
Hi, Sarina. You're talking about the rhythm there, and I'm assuming from your answer that it sounds like it would be a fairly similar team. Does the fact that England have got one more day's recovery than your quarterfinal opponents, does that come into your thinking there? And if it was the other way around, if you were playing with one day less, would that impact your decision at all in terms of rotating things around?
No, what impacts is it might be cards. We didn't have any cards. Might be how players come out of the game, how they recover, and if players are recovered, they are available for the game, and then we make the choices.
And are you happy that all of perhaps the players who haven't had much game time yet in this tournament, that they're ready if called upon in the latter stages, that they're going to be fresh and match fit to come and have an impact in a latter knockout match?
Yeah, I think they're ready. What we're trying to do, we have our team program, but also individualize. So they get the load, and yes, you want them to play games, but now it's the choice, start with the team you think is, for that moment, the best. And after every game, we have a review, and then we see, how do we come out of this game, and then we go to the next game. And if it's needed, we can substitute. That's what we've showed. And then players will, I'm convinced players are ready.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. We'll go to Matt at the Express, please.
Hi, Sarina. The blessing of getting through to the knockout stage is a game early, as you can start your preparations now. A question for any England manager, male, female. Have you been practicing penalties?
Yes, we have.
Are you of the philosophy that more practice makes better, or that you can't recreate that sort of atmosphere?
No, I believe that practice preparation helps than doing nothing. So what we want to do is expect the unexpected, but sometimes you can expect penalties. So we are prepared if that would happen. So what we try to do, everything that could occur during a tournament, we have been talking about it or have practiced it, and that somewhere here we can bring it up and execute what's necessary.
Just a quick one for Mary. I mean, how easy is it to put together research material on opposition penalties in the women's game?
That's not my job. That's the analyst's job. So you should probably ask them. But no, I think there's obviously footage available. I think the women's game, the way it's come on, you see it's available more and more now. So yeah, I think you can do research, and that's good. But then for goalkeepers, I think it's about reading what you feel in the moment and going with that, in my personal opinion.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, Matt. We'll go to Susie at The Guardian.
Hey both. Mary, you said that you're not paying a huge amount of attention to the noise beyond the pitch. Just to pierce that a little bit, after the match, I picked my son up from school the next day. All the parents are talking about the match. All the mums are. In my hotel just now, there's a woman and her daughter who've flown over from Vietnam for the game tomorrow night. My mum was messaging me about the game, never watched a football match in her life. How do those kind of things, that kind of impact that you're having, make you feel?
Well, that's different from what my mum and dad are telling me. Every hotel they go to, they say, Mary, they don't even know that the game's on. So for me, it's very much whether or not they're trying to keep me humble, I don't know. But I think it's fantastic, obviously, that it's being spoken about. I do think this is, the best standard of women's football that you've seen in terms of the biggest tournament in women's football history. I do believe that. So I think it's right that people are talking about it. So hopefully we can continue to make it something really special to talk about and continue to perform each game.
Do you feel the pressure of that big win the other night, and do you feel that adds more on top?
Well, no, not really, because I think looking at the history books, obviously that game will go down in history, and deservedly so. The team were really great, but we also know that those sorts of games don't come around very often, and that's why it makes it so special that we can, enjoy it and say, wow, we did a great job, but also that we know that there's plenty of work that we still need to do. We can still make improvements, and we want to go as far as we can in the tournament. So we're staying very much focused, and we enjoyed it after the game, but then literally the next day, come midnight, it's the next day, and it's on to something else. So.
Awesome, thanks.
Thanks, Susie. We'll go to Jen O'Neill at the back, please.
Hi, just a quick one for Mary. You mentioned that, as you take a drink, communication is key in your position.
Yeah.
The crowds have been fantastic. They've been loud. So how are you managing and adapting to that?
As best as I possibly can. It's difficult. I think Old Trafford especially was so hard. I think Brighton was a little bit easier because obviously there was less people. But when the crowd gets going, it does make it incredibly difficult. But there's also many different ways to communicate: body language, hand signals, not just screaming and yelling. So we try and utilise as many communication tools as we can, breaks in play where possible, and just to touch base with one another and keep connected and try and stay on the same page. And yeah, it's a challenge, but it's a fantastic challenge to have, and it's one that I love facing. I wouldn't change it.
Thanks, Jen. We'll take a final question from Molly at The Times, please.
Hi, Sarina. I suppose when you go into a tournament abroad, elsewhere, you may be expecting it to be quite warm. Have you been surprised at how hot it's been this tournament, and has it affected anything? I suppose it's a positive that all of England's games have been 8 o'clock kickoffs, which obviously helps a little bit. But has it changed anything you've done kind of in the week in recovery or anything like that?
No, it hasn't changed. Actually, we really enjoy it. And I think at the 8 o'clock, we're lucky we're playing at 8 o'clock because then it's pretty cool, or a lot cooler. We just train, and sometimes it's warm, so we use some more things like cold packs. I don't know how you call it that way. I think the cold packs. Yeah. And things like that. We make sure we drink enough. We get in the shade when we can, but we also enjoy it because last year I've seen a lot of rain.
Thank you.
Thanks, Molly. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Thank you.